You're listening to the Smash Bros. Cast episode 58. I'm your host, N64 Josh. My co-host and sparring partner is Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Genesis 6 recap. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, dude, so pumped. Before we jump into it, though, if you guys want to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. Pick up something awesome like Blood, Sweat, and Pixels or Ready Player One. Love those books. Great stuff there. Guys, the chair I'm sitting in and the desk that all of my computer sits on, it's from OP Seat. You can go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. Amazing gaming chairs. If you sit in a chair for a long period of time gaming or doing whatever, these chairs are awesome. I absolutely love mine. So n64josh.com/OP Seat. Automatically save $10 at checkout. With that, I think we're just going to move right on to the announcements. All right. Well, first off, I want to say, hey, if you're not in the Discord, come on over. We got so many people in there from all different levels. If you're looking to improve, if you're looking to maybe help some people improve, like, we want you in there. We want to, we've pretty much got arenas going. It seems like close to 24/7. Like there's a lot of people playing in there. So if you're not in there, get in here. Come on. It's n64josh.com/Discord. That's where you'll find the invitation. So we're like this close to 1,000 people.
22 away.
22 away. Okay. All right.
I don't know. That might include bots too, but
who knows? Close. Who knows? Jay Harley says, or if you're just looking to get your butt kicked, we have that too. So, guys, and if you're in the Discord, feel free to invite your friends. Like, let's make it a party. You know, get more people in there. We have a call-in show happening Mondays, sometime between the time of 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just kind of depends on just how things are going that night. But I am streaming that night, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific. We're pretty much doing Smash the whole time. So if you want to get some viewer battles in, come on and hang out.
Might take a short break for an hour to do Mario Kart.
That's true. Yeah, we might. Although I think I'm going to do that this weekend. So what else we got? Big news, guys. Smash Bros. Tournament. We're hosting. Winner gets a $20 eShop card. Second prize, $10 eShop card. Third prize, $5 eShop card. Okay, these are North American prizes, but all you have to have is a North American account, so it doesn't matter. Like, you can still use them. You just got to use them in the right store. So if you go to n64josh.com/smash tournament, you'll find all the details. There's also a link in the show notes here to come and sign up now. You can also if you want to sign up directly, you can go to smash.gg/SBC tournament. Okay, and that we're gonna this is gonna be the first one run through there, so I am expecting some hiccups. I'm just letting everybody know now because there's a little bit of a learning curve with this thing. So I am gonna stream the whole thing starting at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm hoping it's gonna be pretty hyped. Last time we've had about 80 viewers show up, so I'd love to see us hit that 100 viewer mark. So if you got nothing going and you wanna check out some Smash tournaments, a Smash tournament, come hang out.
Yeah. And I think the software on Smash.gg allows us to call out which one maybe will be on stream. I believe. So we might have to play around with some of those tools, but it could be easier. And also, if Discord happens to die the weekend we do the tournament,
oh man,
I think we're also able to communicate with I think you can talk to your opponent on Smash.gg. So I think Discord is going to be the best way to do it, but because we have the rooms kind of already set up. But if Discord does have a hiccup like it did last time, we should be able to do stuff within Smash.gg.
Yeah, and the best thing I can tell you guys is to make sure that if you're playing, be in the Twitch chat, because that way we can easily communicate with you, and then, we're not trying to always type in Discord as well. So it really was a great time last time. We had a lot of fun with it, and so, just want to encourage you guys to come out for that, because it is really a good time. So with that, we're going to jump on over to our tournament news. All right. So, guys, we had Max Ketchum on here right? He's got that 2018, 2019 qualifier schedule going on. We got details in the show notes if you want to see the Collegiate Melee and Ultimate. Check it out if you want some details there. There's a link right here in the show notes. And
if you want to check the interview, it's in the feed and it's also on YouTube. You can check it out there.
Yeah. So, Genesis 6, we got top 8 results and VODs if there's a link to it if you want to check it out. All right. And we're going to kind of just go through the list, maybe talk about a few of the highlights and stuff. I do have a quick question from chat. It says, how long do they usually last? I mean, the tournaments could go, it's probably going to go around 3 hours, but I don't know for sure. It just depends. Right now we have about 25 people signed up. So it's just going to depend on that, but usually 3 to 4 hours, because we don't stream every match. We just kind of pick some, and then we will stream all of top 8. So MK Leo taking the number 1 spot.
Coming up, resetting the bracket.
Yeah. That Ike and Lucina, man. Like, crazy stuff. Like, and I mean, he knows the matchup.
He changes to Lucina when he knows he's going against a faster opponent. I'm trying to think, in his set against Samsora that sent him down to losers, did he stay Ike all the way through? I think he did.
I feel like he may have, but I don't remember.
He definitely changed when he was coming back. I don't think he used Ike again coming back up through losers. I think it was all Lucina.
I thought it was Ike. I thought it was Ike up until Pichu.
No, because he used Ike against Zachary. Or not Ike. Sorry, he used Lucina because he did the. I'm pretty sure it was Lucina against Wolf. But we can. Let me pull it up.
No, it's fine. It's not that big a deal. But
yeah.
Anyway, he bounced between the two very well, and it was crazy, some of the stuff we saw. And I mean, Void, he was unstoppable as well. Like that Pichu was just it was messing people up.
And he got close too. I mean, the original bracket got to game 5. He had a chance to close it out, and they were tied at 2-2, and then Leo was able to reset the bracket, and then I think it ended 2-1 or 3-1, I think, in the final bracket. But it was a close game. I mean, they played almost all 10 games, I'm pretty sure. But it was late in the night, so forgive me if I forget. But it was what, 12:15 or something like that by the time we got out, and we had been in there for 11 something hours.
13. Yeah, 13 hours. We got there around 11, so it was bonkers. All right, it was like 12 hours. Yeah, it was crazy. So Samsora was looking good. DeBuzz was looking good. His Olimar was, just, it's the thing. And I sound like a broken record, but like, it's so great to see such a vast variety of characters in, from these pros. Like, very few dittos even, very, very few dittos. So actually, I'm not even sure if we saw a single ditto in top 8.
Not in top 8, no.
Yeah. So
the closest we got was Wolf Fox.
Right.
That was it.
Right. And so DeBuzz was killing it. Samsora was killing it with Peach. Just, I mean, he was Peach versus Ike, right? Because Ike would do that. Is it a side B to try to get back to the stage, and he would
run into Toad and get blasted on that counter.
Yeah, he was. I think he was hitting the turnip, and then on the up B he was throwing the counter, and it was getting the kill.
It was on both. Like, I feel like on one of them, Samsora even jumped up a little bit, like short hopped, just to call out the side B that Leo let go early. And on one of those, he just met him right there. It wasn't at ledge. It was just a little bit above stage. I feel like he hit that at least twice, if not 3 times. It was some good call outs that he had on those. But one of the other big takeaways, especially from that matchup, that was in winners, I think, round 2, with Leo and Samsora, which we in the vlog, we kind of sat there and we thought that might be grand finals as well with whoever that was right after MKLeo had lost. We thought MKLeo would come back up through, which he did, but we also, the way Samsara was playing, we thought that Samsara was going to run through winners, and that was going to be grand finals. But Samsora's parry game was on point against Ike, and I think that's what led him winning. Is just Ike was so slow after those nairs got parried that Samsora was able to punish with Peach.
Yeah, it was something to behold, and then Zachary literally melted the hearts of everybody in the arena that night. 16-year-old kid, you could tell he was he was super emotional. He was so short, his feet didn't even touch the ground from the chair he was sitting in. I don't know if you guys saw any of those tweets, but literally his feet were dangling, not even touching the ground. And brings a wolf, played Pro Controller, the Smash Pro Controller.
And he forgot to desync as well. I think they had an issue after. I think when he went out in fifth, I think he went over to go because they had to play. Light and Zachary played each other into Smash Summit, and when he turned on his controller, it reconnected to the switch out on stage, and it caused a little hiccup as they were getting ready to go with the next round. So we didn't see it because they had the commentary up, and it was all behind the scenes. But there was definitely a hiccup that took just a second, and I think one of the Genesis TOs backstage tweeted out, "Oh, that was my bad. That it didn't desync or whatever like that." So it was funny because they were setting up to play into Smash Summit backstage, which was good.
That kid's wolf is, it was crazy. Some of his reads, absolutely unreal. Some of his reads, just could not believe some of the stuff I was seeing. And
I don't know if you can hear it on the VOD when you go, if anybody goes back and watches it, but the whole crowd was howling when he was getting his kills.
They were they were howling. That's right. Yeah, because on the screen it said "howl if you want Zachary to win," and so there was just all kinds of howling going on. It was pretty funny. But all the matches, really, really good stuff. Zachary took fifth and tied with Light, and then you had Cosmos get seventh, Esam seventh, Myron and Tweak, Captain Zach, and Yeti all took ninth place. And just a little side note, Myron, who is an Olimar main, is going to be on this show on Sunday. We're going to be doing a live episode at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to talk a little bit about him, but we're also going to be doing an Olimar episode where we capture gameplay and talk about strategies with Olimar. So it should be a really good time.
And he's got a brand. I think he just put out a video this week with Olimar strategies, so you guys can check that out as well. We'll definitely have a link to that on Sunday show notes. But if you guys just search for Myron on YouTube, you should be able to find it.
Right on. Well, chat is asking about. They wanted to see how Vicky did, so I'm looking.
I think Vicky drowned in round two pools. She made it out. I think she soloed Corrin through round one. I don't know if she changed anything at all.
She went 4-2, and she took 257th overall out of 2,105 players. So there you go. With that, we're going to jump on over to the news, which is kind of light for this week, but we'll touch on a couple things. All right. So what's the spirits this week? If you guys fired up your Switch, you all got to see it. It's something to do with round spirits. That's all I saw.
I think so. I clicked through it pretty quick. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Same here, guys. As far as the other news, though, if you want to sign up to play for these qualifying matches that Nintendo is doing for the tournament that Nintendo is putting on, your next match that you can play in is going to be next Saturday, right? I believe it's the 16th.
February 16th. Yep.
Yeah. So you can sign up for that one, and you can sign up for the March 9th one, I believe. So if it doesn't cost anything, you just got to go through the registration on Battlefly. They'll walk you through it. We'll try to get a link to it, or we may already have a link to it in the notes. So
they got a very Nintendo-centered rule set with, I think, some items and Smash Ball and stuff on. So you gotta make a rule set, and then you'll the biggest thing is you have to put your friend code into Battlefly, and you also have to put a unique like customer identification number that's located on your Switch, I guess, just to make sure that you're on a legit system in Switch. So you have to input those into your registration, and then you just have to make sure you make that rule set, because then you'll be getting your opponent's friend code, and then you go into a private arena and use the rule set and then record your results on Battlefly.
And if you're like me and you assumed you could only sign up for one, that is incorrect. You can sign up so you could play this coming Saturday, and you can also play 2 weeks from that Saturday as well. So we missed the first Saturday because we were at Genesis. So.
Yep. And finals for that last weekend's tournament will be, I think they're still online, but they're doing an event where they're live streaming some of it, I guess. TK Breezy and Senpai are going to be commentating, I guess, is what we saw just today in a tweet, right, Josh?
Yeah. Yep. I tweeted that. I retweeted that out, and if you guys check that tweet, there is a link that has some more info on it. I didn't have a chance to check it out though, to find all the news or all the details there. So that's kind of it for news. There's not really.
Piranha Plant.
We don't have to talk about Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant is out.
We don't have to talk about Piranha Plant right now or ever.
So if
there's nothing funny happening, Crawler, I don't know why you're laughing so hysterically right now. Like
I'm giving the people news so they don't waste $5 like Josh did.
Okay. Cayman says tell the story, all caps.
So
I did it for the people.
We're not supposed to be laughing here.
That's right. We're gonna get more bad reviews.
So if you have already claimed your game, which you would have had to have done by last Thursday, I believe the 31st was the last cutoff for that. If you had a physical edition, or if you bought the game digitally, it had to be before Thursday, and you had to claim that if you had the physical. So you should have an email code, and that should be your whatever it is, 16-digit Switch code that you enter into the eShop. That is your code, and it is good until like June. And I didn't have that information. Josh didn't have that information. I don't think Nintendo put that information out very well. I heard it through IGN's Nintendo podcast that they talked about having until June to enter that code. Josh thought it was all done and he had lost his opportunity, and he bought Piranha Plant for $5 because they made it available that next day. On the 1st or 2nd, they made it available that you could buy Piranha Plant for $5. So if you have the code and it's located somewhere in your email, you have until June. So don't be like Josh. But if you bought the game after the bought the game after the 31st and you're missing Piranha Plant, maybe we can get a small pool of people that Josh can do a drawing for. So let us know in the comments or in Discord.
So yeah, if I can find the code, I will be giving it away, probably on stream at some point. So Plumber says I bought the plant and then they sent me a code.
So that's another one right there.
So there you go. So I just paid the $5 because I thought, I missed the window, but it's all right. It's all right. I don't mind giving Nintendo another $5. No big deal. No big deal. But that's not really news. Nobody needed to hear that story, really.
Oh, but it's important.
It is important. Yeah, it is. It is. All right, let's move on to our talking points. Okay, so we're going to do a breakdown of Genesis 6. We're going to talk about the event, the venue, the setups, vendors, connections, our matches, all that kind of stuff. So, Crawler, I'll let you kick it off, man. And if you guys have any questions in chat too, feel free to ask about Genesis. We'd love to answer them. But What'd you think?
It was awe-inspiring. It was a big convention hall that you walked in, one single point entry into the thing. You had to walk through a good slew of vendor tents that lots of waifu art and all sorts of stuff, but some controller stuff, and it was tempting. Leo was very tempted and ended up getting a nice Link Triforce GameCube controller. But yeah, so that was first as you walked in, and then you came around and there's two smaller kind of event setups for Splatoon and Rivals of Aether. I don't know how you say it. With kind of their...
It's like Ike. Like Ike. Aether!
So they had their...
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Sorry.
Yeah. So they had their broadcast screen so you could watch what was going on. So they had it was kind of cool to see the four side-by-side setups for Splatoon, and they had the Astro headsets and everything there for them to... I don't know how they were communicating, if they were doing it through the app or if they were doing what, because there's no in-game chat with Splatoon, but who knows?
If they were using... I think they were using Astros, which you can link all of the... you can link
that's cool.
all of the mix amps together and do voice chat that way.
That's cool. Okay, so that's how they were doing that then. So yeah, so that was on that, and then in between all that was some free arcade cabinets that they had set up, kind of like Japanese style. Some of the sit down ones. A lot of different fighting games. There were some retro throwback stuff. I think there was a side by side Tetris that was pretty cool. I don't think either you or I took time to actually play any of that. There was some crazy rhythm games that it was like DJ Hero, if you guys remember that from PlayStation and Xbox back in the day, but it was cranked up to 18.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw some crazy people playing that, and then after that you kind of just hit this sea of setups. I think there was at least 25 stations, and that's just numbered stations, and then at each of those numbered stations there's at least 4 setups, and so just crowds and crowds of chairs and people, and it was pretty packed day one on Friday, because I think doubles was only on Friday. Is that right? I think finals was that night. So some of those setups were really packed with 4 people.
It was really, really crazy trying to find a place to sit, and it got a little crazy for sure.
But yeah, so I mean, all of those setups they had, I mean, doubles, and one side was switches and flat screens from Asus. I think Asus monitors was sponsoring. That was pretty cool to have those. I think they were crazy high refresh rate. I think ungodly high that Switch can't even handle. I think it was 144 hertz refresh rates on those monitors that we didn't need to have, but they were there and they were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I went and looked at those actually at Best Buy 2 nights ago after being there. I'm like, maybe I need one of these.
Need to drop $400 on a monitor or something.
There were only 2, so.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the other side was a slew of giant CRT, not giant, but good size nowadays for CRTVs for Melee.
For Melee and 64. But let's talk about the kid in the lobby of the hotel. Has this
you got that. Go.
Completely clear plastic CRT. I mean, this thing looked like a custom. I don't even know. I have no clue.
It looked like an old iMac from early to mid 90s.
It did, but
they didn't have clear. So
no, this was crystal clear. You could see everything in the inside. TSA was like, "You sure this isn't a bomb, kid?" He's like, "I'm sure. It's for playing video games." They're like, "You sure this isn't a bomb?" Over and over again. He said it was.
I think he said he got checked 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they kept wiping it down. See, because I mean, you're just seeing wires and cables, and you're seeing the guts of a television. And why are you carrying this on the plane, you weirdo? Right?
And he had modded it as well too. He had put in a higher resolution screen, right? I think still a tubed CRT resolution wise, but
I don't know.
Aspect wise or something like that. But he had said he had upgraded the actual screen a little bit.
I don't even know. But like, it was pretty funny. He's sitting in the hotel lobby, just like holding this CRT, and it was. I mean, it's crazy seeing all those things.
He carried it on the plane.
Yeah, he carried it on the plane. Like, I don't know anymore.
But also in front and behind us, as we were like, there was a decent long wait to get checked into our room. But both in front and behind us were Melee players, which I was kind of surprised at. Were you surprised at that? And they were younger. They were not young, but younger than us. Kind of surprised.
That's young, Crawler. Anything younger than us is young. Don't ever forget that, okay?
So I was kind of surprised that younger kids like that were into Melee.
Now, if you're going to say kids now, we're automatically old. You can't say kids.
Yeah, we're the old dudes.
I seriously wondered if I was the oldest guy competing. Like,
no, I'm sure you weren't. I saw some. Well, I mean, there's some balding people there. You aren't balding yet.
Yeah, but like, so we said that, and somebody said Mewtwo King's he's been bald since he was like 19. So you can't even base it on that, you know. So I don't know. But yeah, the venue was amazing. Like, looking out over just the sea of televisions. The Buzz said it best. You guys heard it on here. He's just like, we're like over 100 setups, right? So it was like so easy to get games. We got games with Beyond the Metagame, right? Those guys, Peon and AV. Played.
So was that night one that we were down there Friday night when we were? I think that was the one main night we went down and did friendlies. But we were set up on one of the setups, and then in the center aisle, this crowd just kind of starts gathering because Samsora and Esam are money matching for what we thought originally. I think the game of telephone
went around
was like $1,000. I think it ended up being $250 is what they were playing for, but they were still doing like first to, I think best of 11. I think first to five games, or best of 9, excuse me. First to 5 games was taking home $250 from the other person. So, and it just started growing and growing and growing. EE started up his Twitch broadcast right there on his phone, and he was live streaming it. Yep. It was a good time.
Yeah, and people were everybody was screaming and yelling. It was really cool. Really cool. And it was like I just started sitting down with random people and started playing. I met this random TO from Texas, and we sat down, and to my surprise, I actually won my match against him, my first match against him. And I think he was surprised too, because I think he was like, I thought you said you were new at this. So that was fun. But literally we'd just sit there, and then there would be like, you would see people kind of gather behind you. And so I would just turn like, you guys want to play? Right. And sure enough, they'd jump in. We would just kind of do King of the Hill. And so it was overall just such a neat experience after the fact. Like, even with all those setups, you'd think it'd be easy to get onto a setup. It was not. And what we hear, like till 3 a.m., there were people.
No, it was 24-hour venue, so it was going all the time. But yeah, I think I saw a tweet that was like, "Congratulations to Genesis trying to get down at 3 a.m., get a setup, and it's still fully packed, and I can't get a game in." Like. Yeah, the setups were just, they're monopolized the whole time. It was crazy.
Beautiful thing. Let's talk vendors now. Okay, like you said, there were a lot of waifu posters, things like that. You were even tempted by a Mithra and Pyra poster, right?
Yeah, there was a really cool Mithra and Pyra poster. Yeah, I don't know how I would have gotten it home. I guess I would probably have to gotten a poster like tube. I don't know if anybody had those there or anything like that. But right. But yeah, it was cool. There was at least 2 kind of controller vendors there.
3 at least, maybe 4.
Yeah. Some smaller ones. Like, so the two ladies that we battled against in our first doubles match actually had a booth there as well. And they do one of them. I think they kind of combined, because I think they obviously know each other for their doubles partners, and that one does like custom amiibo, and She was shocked and appalled to hear that Josh keeps his in a prison behind him that you can see over his right shoulder. And then the
They're
other,
warm and safe.
she did. I think she did custom art and did custom art on controllers. And there was actually a really cool corn one that I was kind of tempted by as well.
Yeah, and then Leo bought an amazing Zelda controller, which I believe you guys can see in the vlog. I think I still have to edit the day 3 vlog. I haven't got that one up yet, but it was just really cool custom controller, bright green, just looks sick, super sick. It does have one little edge on it that's not, it doesn't it doesn't fit super tight together, but we don't want to talk about that too much because it makes him feel sad because he spent a good chunk of change on it, like half of a Switch, no big deal. But there was another controller. Do you remember the other controller, the name of it?
The Smashbox, the Hitbox?
No. The other controller place that had the Mario controller.
No, I don't. They kind of had their like cage thing kind of set up in the forefront of their thing, and then like one monitor. I don't remember seeing a name.
Yeah, I couldn't. Sorry, Leo. Leo's crying in the chat right now. So this other place had some very interesting controllers, and what really intrigued me by them is I couldn't tell if these were custom controllers or not. Now, some of them were definitely like different buttons were added to them, right? Clear buttons, different color sets of buttons, that kind of stuff. But a few of them really piqued my interest, and they had the boxes for them too. There was a Mario controller, right? It was a red GameCube controller. It had the M in the center, and it was blue on the bottom. And so they were on it like 175 for this controller.
245.
Well, no, that was the other one. Just the regular one was like 175 or 125. I think it was 175. And so I'm like, okay, what's the deal with this? Is this just a paint job? And then they just put these shells together? What's the deal here? Then they had another Mario controller that had a tinted blue clear bottom, and it was red on top, had the M on it, and it was $275. And I was like, okay, what's the deal with this controller? Why is it so much money? Right. And so he went on to explain that like it had one of the Japanese boards in it from, I believe, the white Japanese controllers, the ones that don't quote me on this. I'm trying to learn all this stuff. I've been doing some research, but I believe it's the controller that they sold when the Wii came out. So I'm not entirely sure. So he said it was the board, and it had basically, like, if you flick the stick one direction, when it popped back to center, it went to dead center. It didn't go over and then could cause you to turn the opposite way or something like that. Like if you just flick the stick, when it hit center, it stayed there. Right. So there were a few things added to this thing, or there were a number of reasons why it was so much. The bottom was actually an indigo and clear that they tinted, which I looked into tinting. And you have to keep your water at about 178 degrees Fahrenheit, and you mix in this dye and you put the controller in it. If you get it too hot, it will warp the plastic and ruin the shell. You can't use it. So you have to keep it at exactly the right temp, and then it will tint the indigo, and then you can attach. So in my research, I ended up finding the Mario controller. It is official, but it was from Club Nintendo in Japan. So I got one for $85. So I'm pretty excited about that. And but the other one they also had was another Club Nintendo one that is white, and it has the little Mario's hat, and then says Club Nintendo. Did you see that one there in their shop?
Maybe. I think I saw a few white ones that I was looking at, but I didn't look that closely at them all.
So I was just really intrigued by this, right? Because I love Nintendo artifacts and things like that. And so I'm like, okay, I got to get to the bottom of this. Well, sure enough, these are just Club Nintendo things that did not make it to the States. They only came out in Japan. So I've got like between February 22nd and March 11th is when this controller is going to get to me, because it's coming from overseas.
Buy it now is only $85?
It was only $85.
Wow.
And free shipping. And it had no scratches. So, yeah. So pretty excited about that. But overall, just really cool. And then we made some really killer connections. We talked to the Smashbox guys. We have a video of that on YouTube. Talked with the guys from Astro Gaming for a while. Really cool guys. And you know, just getting to meet like people from the Discord. You know, Leo, PK Ramy, Danderson, seeing Peon and Avi. You know, just so talking to a bunch of pros, seeing Vicky. Guys, if you get a chance to watch the video of Vicky Kitty, it's so funny because she's so short. And so I stand up and she pretty much disappears behind me. And so just a really, really good time. So I think the next thing to get to is our matches. And so you kind of talked about our doubles matches a little bit. Like, how'd you feel about that?
We were definitely they reseeded our doubles. So a preliminary we were in a bye in that first round, and then it got shuffled around, and we had to do 2 matches if we wanted to win to get to face Dark Wizzy and Salem, which was going to be a chore in and of itself if we were just going to have to win 1 game to get to face them and get beat there. But so we had we faced off. I forget their names, but it was like we said, those 2 ladies that had their custom amiibo and controller set up there at the venue, and they took care of us quite handily with Crom and it Zelt?
I thought it was Lucina and Crom.
No, Lucina. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we were maybe we got a stock or 2 over the 2 games. I think that was it.
Yeah, we were in over our heads, but I mean, it was still a good time.
Yep. And then the next matchup we had opportunities. It was against a Ron Corin, a male Corin, and what was it? Was it a Link? I'm trying to remember. I think
it was. I think I remember bombs being all over the place.
Okay. So yeah. So I think we got down on that first game. I think it was it 1v1 and it was like down to 1 stock. Did it get that close?
I mean, I honestly don't remember. I remember we did better against them than we did against the.
Yeah. So I mean, we should have taken that first game. I don't know if we actually recorded much footage on those doubles games, but it was close. We should have done something with it, and then it got more destroyed in that second game a little bit. And that was it for doubles. Out.
Yep.
0-2.
Yeah, Leo says it was super close, so that's good. And that was it for doubles, and that was fine. Like we practiced very little going into doubles. Like it was just one of those things. Like this is something else we can do.
I was actually happy that we had that first. It kind of got some of the jitters of. Because it's kind of daunting walking into that room. You are on your profile on Smash.gg, which if you're Josh, you had to memorize because he didn't have cell phone service inside. And you have to find your setup, which wasn't really... After you kind of understand it, it makes a lot more sense. But you have to find this... You have a pool and a number, and you have to go find... You're just looking for the number because the pool is at the time... and the number is the station. So you have to go find your TO captain at that station and kind of find your way amongst the sea of all those people and make sure you get checked in and all that kind of stuff. And then you have to listen. And it was kind of good to get that out of the way. I think first, did you feel a little more prepared and a little more like you more calm going into your solo matches, having had that experience?
To be honest, I wasn't all that nervous at all. You know when I got nervous is match 3, getting the last stock in my first singles match and getting that win. That's when the nerves started kicking in for me, and I was like, my heart was racing, you know. But it wasn't until that point, like, I feel like I prepared mentally really well for my first match. I feel like I prepared so well for that one that I kind of threw it all out the window for the next 2.
So talk about your first match. It was against a Pikachu, correct?
Yeah, Pikachu. First game, went in, took 2 stocks off immediately, and then the kids started coming back, and I was able to close it out, but I got down to my final stock. The second match was pretty close, but I ended up losing it. And then the third match, I forced myself to be patient. I mean, I'm like, just wait for your opportunity. Like, that's the one thing that I'm finding with this game, the more and more I play it, is like, you can run around and wait for those opportunities to strike. And when that opportunity arises, you're going to do some damage, and then you reset neutral and you get back to the dance. Right. And so that's really what I focused on. And I had been going up for the spike time and time again, but not fully committing. Right. Like, I didn't full commit to it until the very last one on the final stock, and fully committed, put him away. And
got that lightning.
Got the lightning, got the slow-mo, and was like, all right, let's go. And then I was pumped. Right. I was really, really pumped. So how about you? How was your first?
So my first match, well, first off, my pool captain was MIA for like 10 minutes. So we're kind of just standing around, a whole bunch of people just kind of, we're near the front. So we're near the main stage as well. So it's kind of pushed up against chairs, and we're just waiting. I think another pool captain started like trying to hop in and had 2 sheets, which we didn't realize. So just even getting checked in was kind of jarring a little bit, just getting going there. And then played my first match, and I looking back, I think I should have done this more from the start. But I started with Roy, and I played much better with Corin when I did that once I was in losers. But so I played 2 matches, lost both against a Lucina. And I have Leah recorded my games. I've not brought myself to watch all my losses yet, which I need to. But I can kind of summarize it, and I rely on kind of one move. I need to sit back and wait and be more patient, like you were talking about. We've said this for however 10 months now that we've been doing the show. Like, you and I are both kind of aggressive style players when it's come to this game, and I've had to learn kind of changing it up a little bit. So I need to kind of reevaluate that and get more back to like stage control, maintain it, let them make a move, keep moving, not committing to anything that would put me in end move lag kind of situation that can leave me open and susceptible to getting grabbed or punished or anything like that. So game one, the first set, I got quite destroyed by a Lucina, and that put me down on losers. So, and then I did make a switch. After that, I went back and I stuck with Corin. So my first set of losers, I was playing against a Bowser, and it was kind of just classic, like, didn't know, maybe he didn't know the matchup very well. But I was able to really just take control that whole game. I was able to juggle a little bit. I was able to punish, I think, one time with Dragon Fang, both the shot and the claw. And then I think my final one was a up air juggle that ended it. So I mean, I had varying different plays that resulted in stocks being taken. I ended up 2-stocking him, which I felt pretty confident about, and I feel like I didn't overuse my side B with the pike, but I definitely overused it the remaining 2 games. And Bowser was able to pick up on it and was able to either shield, or it was away from him, and he was able to just to quickly dash up and grab me and kind of just rack up that damage slowly, and that was kind of it. I thought about kind of changing and maybe going like Castle Siege and Roy for the final matchup, but I didn't. I stuck with Corin, and yeah, I mean, it could have been better. I just know I need to get away from being so like just having a single kind of attack focus, and vary my game, get more patient, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Leo said the guy would run up and grab you nonstop after the first game.
Yep. And Leo called out the disrespect. He did an SD on I think the second game.
Oh,
SD
no.
for the win with one of those Bowser command grabs.
Yeah. So my second match was against a Rosalina, which I'm like, man, I don't know this matchup at all, right? Like at all. And everything I tried to do was just out of reach, right? Like everything. It didn't matter. I got 3-stock both times. And the second game I even switched to Mega Man so I could try to close the gap a little bit. And I did a lot more damage with Mega Man. But even still, it at the end of the day, the match boiled down to he was way more patient than I was, right? Because I was trying to push and get my game going, get my grabs, get my combos going, but I couldn't get in. Even my back airs were always just out of reach, and then I would get punished. Like it didn't seem to matter, and so. So that, there was definitely some learning experience there. And I'm hoping if anybody's in the Discord or listening to this, jump into the Discord and like that plays Rosalina. I really want to get some Rosalina matches in and learn the matchup better. Cause like I said, I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Even maybe somebody that played Rosa in 4 that maybe doesn't play her in Ultimate, but knows kind of how it works a little bit would be probably even more beneficial than anything.
Yeah.
Even if somebody doesn't main Rosa here in this game.
Then my first round of losers, and I took the first match, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's like, I took the first match and then went into autopilot basically. And I mean, I remember during the match, like trying to tell myself, don't go into autopilot. Like, what do you, and it just seemed like everything I did, like if he was playing Ivysaur, I would Flower Cow, then he would, I was trying to cape the projectiles back, and I was always just like a second early or a second behind. Like, so even when I was getting the reads, I wasn't landing my inputs at the right time. I was off just a little bit.
Oh, and you had a revelation about that as well. What was your revelation about your timing?
Are you talking about when I got
back? You're a Wi-Fi warrior.
When I got back from well, I guess while we were there too, like, it really hit me the most when we got back and I started playing on Wi-Fi again. Like I had heard people talk about input lag, and I was like, I don't know what you guys mean. And wow, when you play like 4 days straight of nothing but in the same room on the same setup, there's definitely input lag online, like crazy. And I think some of my inputs were slow because I was used to the input lag, the delay. So that was definitely a factor as well. But I mean, overall, just such a great experience. So cool, guys. If you haven't done a tournament and you're on the fence, there's one, just go. Like, seriously, go. It's so much fun. I can't wait to get to my next local, and I can't go again until March, and I'm like super bummed out by that. But yeah, if you have the opportunity, go. And if you don't, just come play in our tournament at least. All right, like come hang out. It's a good time. So, real quick, we're gonna move on to anything else. Any other final thoughts about G6?
I mean, we talked a little bit about top 8. We talked a little bit about this with Max as well on Wednesday night, but I think honestly the tournament was run super smooth, but top 8 was it was a very, very, very long day.
Yeah.
Like we said, we were in a beautiful auditorium watching this live, but it was a long day, and I think it did great things for like viewership. It was number 1 on Twitch, I think, most of the day on Sunday. I think it capped at like 163,000 people watching collectively Smash Brothers. I mean, I think it peaked during Melee hours, but it was, I think the thing that killed it the most was how late it went. It was like it ended at 3 a.m. Eastern time. So I would like to see maybe something with maybe putting 64 and Rivals of Ether on the main stage on Saturday night or something like that, to kind of get it up there and have it viewed, but also just we can get through top 8 and keep it more in prime time, especially being on the West Coast. You got to be cognizant of the time that it is out there and not start super early, but also aware that you don't want to make it super late for the East Coasters and Europe. I mean, I'm sure the VODs are going to do great, and it's great that Smash GG just posted like this week on Twitter that like these VODs were available. If you click on the matchup in Smash.gg, it'll take you directly to the VOD of just that set. So you can watch kind of what you want to watch. If you want to watch MKLeo's path through winners and then down into losers and back up resetting, you can just go click on his name all the way through and watch those matchups. So it's great content. The level play was insane. But yeah, it'd be good if it was just a little tighter on the schedule a little bit, I think.
Cayman's asking, what was your favorite part or memory of the trip? You want to talk about In-N-Out? If you follow Josh on, was that on Instagram or Twitter or everything? It was also in the Discord. I think just the Discord.
Josh had 2 4x4s at In-N-Out, and he destroyed it all, and it was crazy. But I told Josh this, I think, when we were on the floor down in Genesis, but it's like, if you are a baseball fan or a basketball fan, like, and you want to go play, you want to aspire to play your sport professionally, you can't just go walk to your nearest professional sports venue and walk on the court or the field and play. But here, like with Smash and some esports are probably a little more selective, but at least in this community, the Smash community, you sign up for one of these events and you go there. And we saw Tweak just walking around. We rode down the elevator with Elegant, and we rode down the elevator with Leffen, yeah, and
Waddy,
and yeah, and they're all just down to earth. Like they're very humble about it all. Like, even if you talked, like Josh said to Leffen, like, oh, because he had just been on the main stage like maybe an hour before that, and he's like, oh, you destroyed that Falco with Ivysaur, and he's like yeah, he kind of just shrugged. He's like, yeah, he was kind of getting it going. He's like, I had to turn it up a little bit. He just kind of shrugged it off like, it was nothing.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that you're just walking around this venue, and you can kind of see it by the interviews. Credit all the interviews to Josh. He's a lot more extroverted than I am. But going up and just introducing himself, and we got those interviews that you guys can see on his YouTube channel. But I think that's the coolest part, is just you're there with the people that are at the very top of this the sport. It truly is. It's crazy to watch the pros play their game and what they can do, and just being able to walk around and they're all just right there.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. That's the whole convention thing, being around all those people. Like, I thrive in that environment. Like, that's where I want to be on a regular basis. Like, honestly, like, I saw some other people tweeting about it too, but like the post-con blues, like, were for real. Like, going back to work and everything after being with honestly, just having human contact for that many days in a row was amazing, right? Amazing. And so, meeting Vicky was a really big highlight. You know, she ran up, gave us hugs, and was just like so friendly, super cool.
Yeah. And she knew all I had to say was Vicky as she was walking by, and she just turned and she gave us both big hugs, and it was great.
Yeah, she's the best. And so meeting her and you know, just what was pretty cool is because we've, you know, as a community, we've gone and hosted a lot of people after streams. And so like DeBuzz was like, hey, whoa, what's up? You know, like Elegant was like, what's going, you know, so it was really cool getting to shake hands with a lot of these people that we've had interactions with. And, you know, as we've slowly tried to work our way into this community. I mean, we haven't even been involved in this community. It's been less than a year, right? And everybody was just so welcoming and so great. And like, I've been in other gaming communities, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same at all. And so, you know, talking to different people, telling them that we do the podcast, things like that, seeing people get excited about that, you know, and like immediately checking it out and that kind of thing. Like it was really cool. And, you know, I'm very thankful for the past conventions and stuff I've gone to, and kind of like navigating the waters with people a little bit, and not, because I mean, a lot of times I'm holding the camera, so it looks like I'm just like hungry for like making content all the time. And so there were a lot of times that I was just like, you know, you just shake hands, talk, get to know people, and if they ask what you're doing, you know, cool. If they don't, then just move along. And so, but really, really neat just to shake hands and put a face to a lot of the folks we've had interactions with online. So love it. But we're almost at an hour, so we're gonna move on to our week with Smash, and then we have a new section we're gonna look at too. All right. So, any big takeaways this week for you playing Smash?
I mean, I feel like I feel like I slowed down a little bit coming back, because my focus had been so much on Smash, kind of leading up. We hit 2 months of the game being out. What was that? Yesterday. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I mean, I've definitely been playing a little bit, but I've downloaded Wargroove. I played that a little bit. But I have hopped back into kind of that GSP grind a little bit. I'm taking a more kind of just more analytical approach to Corrin a little bit. I want to give her another shot now with this 2.0 update out. With that up B being a little bit better. Recovery's still not super great, but that up B being faster helps a little bit. And she's I think every character got buffed with moves helping you have less lag to snap to edge. So hopefully you don't go flying past the stage as you're trying to.
Oh no, I still do that.
You still do that?
Oh yeah.
But so I mean, I've played a little bit of Roy. Been doing that a little bit, but I've gotten back into Corrin. Corrin was my highest like sitting GSP score, and kind of been 50-50, like the probably 10 or 15 matches I've played since being back, but definitely had a decent little run. I think it was last night, got up to like 3.2 million. So I feel like I've seen Zero's videos, and he's sitting at like 3.7 on pretty much every character. So I feel like Elite Smash has got to be 3.4, 3.5. So I feel like I'm like close, knocking on the door. I want to try to get at least one character up there to take that screenshot and have that in my heart forever.
Yeah. So I jumped into quick play also. I haven't played quick play in, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe longer.
Yeah, you've just been doing a lot of arena.
I've just been doing live viewer battles on Twitch, and so I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And man, I was surprised at some of the stuff I was able to pull off. And I have it, guys, on my Twitter right now, probably the best clip I've ever done. I 3-stocked a Roy, and the finish was an up throw to 2 up airs to a fair for the finish, and I was pretty pumped after that match. But here's what I did.
It's not a long video. It's only a minute 20.
Yeah.
It takes all 3 stocks.
Yeah, minute 20, all 3 stocks. So
was not me.
It was not Crawler. Yeah, he was like, before we started recording, he's like, "Did you do that to someone in the Discord? You didn't post that." I'm like, "No, it was in Quick View." Don't worry, or Quick Play. So, but here's what I did, and maybe some of you guys can take away from this. Of course I want to hit Elite Smash, right? That's important to me. But something something hit me while I was playing yesterday. When I lost a match, I rematched. Not because it was like my ego and I know I could beat this guy. I was like, no, this is actually going to help me, right? Because what have we talked about on here before? Like that Roy match, if he had rematched me, I don't think it would have done me any good. It wouldn't have really helped me. And so the matches that I lost, I made sure to rematch, and I know that people are hungry for GSP, so I'm like, well, I'll end up giving some up. So I started yesterday at 1.5, hit 2.8, and then I think I ended back down at like right at 2 or something like that, and I'll get there eventually. Like I have no doubt that I'll get there, but I would much rather, like, I got beat by a Ganondorf, like that was like my main losses yesterday were like they'd come down to like the last. We were both at high percents on our last stock, but for some of it, I was literally running through people, and that was, that was fun. That was fun because it was like, hey, the fruits of my labor, right? And so, and I got to give a huge shout out to all the people that tune in for the streams and that play. Like, I don't win a lot of my viewer battles, but I'm like, it doesn't bother me in the slightest because like when I go to my local next time, I'm excited for my pools and to be able to play people head to head. Like I really don't feel like I have the like I'm gonna have the nerves or even jump in and make the same stupid mistakes that I did the first time I played, right? And so
make sure you set a Siri reminder to register for your local.
Yeah, no kidding. So the other thing, I've been in the lab just doing short hops, like literally just short hopping. And I'm noticing improvement. I'm noticing improvement in my short hops, and I'm not using both buttons. I want to be able to either with my pointer finger on the trigger. And guys, I'm trying all kinds of stuff here. Like I'm not talking about just trying to like gently tap. I'm like, okay, if I go to the upper part of the controller and rest my finger on the Z button and then only press as far as that allows me, will that be a short hop? Like I'm doing all this different stuff. At the end of the day, like I went and watched a Zero video. He's like, you just kind of slide off the button, like tap and slide off, And so I still don't know that that's going to really help me all that much. It's just going to boil down to whatever you're comfortable with. And it's all muscle memory. And so I have noticed, and what I'll do is as soon as I hit my first full hop, I'm like, okay, I need to put a little more like brain power into my thumbs here to make sure that I'm not full hopping. And I'm seeing big time improvements. The other thing that I'm also doing is the short hop fast fall. So I'm mixing in, back air to fast fall, like down air to fast, and I'm trying to get those fast falls even if I full hop, so that I'm continually getting back to the ground as fast as I can. And I'm seeing improvements from it. I'm seeing improvements. So that kind of stuff, it really does help. Like it's good to just kind of look and see where it is that you're at, what you're doing, what you're struggling with, and what needs to be done. And for me, like even at Genesis, I'm like, I got to get my full hop out of the mix here. This has to go away. Except for when I throw, there is an advantage to throwing the fireballs from a full hop because it puts you in the right position to be able to get in and get that grab if they shield and that kind of stuff. So it is, as Mario, you don't completely throw out the full hop because you do use it with fireballs. But the other thing I'm always looking at is my recovery. Am I jumping too early and relying too much on that fireball? Sometimes I get burned for doing that. Even center stage, getting knocked into the air. What am I doing to get back to the ground safely? That's kind of stuff that like, am I getting juggled? Am I air dodging at the right time, the wrong time? Can I avoid air dodging and just make it to the side of the stage possibly if I've been up high enough? And so that kind of leads into our next topic. And what we're going to start doing each week is we're going to go back into beginner tips. Now, I know some of you guys aren't going to need this, but the reason we started this show was to really help people improve at this game as we improved at this game. And it's been great, but as Ultimate hit, we had like 7 months with 4. So we've only been talking about like the same thing over and over again. You okay there, Crawler? You kind of...
Yep, I came back.
That's
That was weird.
the camera just totally froze.
I lost internet for a second. I don't know what that was.
Well, not only that, the way you were sitting, I'm like, did the bro have a stroke? Okay.
Because I saw it start to go, probably froze me after I noticed it happening. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you slumped over in your chair and it just stayed there. I was like, okay, do we need to stop the show? All right, okay. Glad you're all right. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I want to get back to kind of some basics because I know there are people that have picked this game up, just got back into Smash since Ultimate came out, and all of the stuff that we talked about at the beginning is it's way back in those old episodes, right? It's not right here right now. So we're gonna do a series of things to kind of bring back some beginner tips. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is roll. No, I'm just kidding. That was literally the first tip I gave everybody. Like, I think rolling's a good option.
Rolling works really well.
Yeah, I think rolling's a good option. No, we're going to talk about DI, right? And Carpet in chat keeps talking about LSI. And so I have a video for you guys from the Beefy Smash dudes. The link is right here in the in the show notes, okay? And so if you're not familiar with DI, essentially if you get smacked towards the right, you want to hold left on your controller, right? Or even left and a little bit of an angle. And that will save you from losing that stock. It can keep you from hitting the very edge of the blast zone and then losing that stock. Okay. The difference is if you get hit up, you don't hold down. You hold left or right so that you can change your trajectory, and that way you will, hopefully save that stock. And so, some of you have probably heard the term before, DI, directional influence. And this video is from the Beefy Smash dudes. It really, really breaks stuff down. And so, again, it's right here in the notes. If you're on your phone, you can just open up your notes and check it there. You can go to the website, n64josh.com/SBC58, right? And so DI is something that you really want to incorporate because here's the opposite of it, right? Let's say somebody hits you to the right and you were trying to move away from them by holding right. You're actually going to get hit and go faster and further because you're holding the same direction that they hit you. So if you can immediately, as soon as you get hit, start holding, and this is something that you will start doing over time, right? Like, and you can even see the way the camera moves on the screen and everything. If it was like, I've seen those moments where it slowly starts to you can see your character starts to stop. And then you still lose that stock because you just couldn't quite. There was just enough on it. You couldn't quite stop it. So, that's DI. Again, the video right here. We're gonna keep doing these beginner tips, things like that. If you have something that you want covered, please write in. Ask us in the Discord, in the Smash Bros. Cast server. We want to make sure that we can kind of cover all of our bases, and I don't want anybody feeling left behind and then getting frustrated with this and giving up on the game. Like, we want to try to cover all the entire spectrum here. So the other thing that's probably going to happen on Saturday is so probably tomorrow morning, if you're listening to this on Friday. If not this Saturday, I'm going to try to do it next Saturday for sure, is I want to start doing something called Smash School, where we're going to get beginner players. If you're just new to the game, you're going to jump in the stream with me. And whether Crawler's with me or some other people in the Discord that are more advanced players, and we're going to play a couple matches. We're going to jump into voice, and we're gonna just kind of break down like, hey, this is what went wrong, and this is what you could work on, so that when so not only the people that are coming in and doing the matches with us will have that ability to then take something with them to go and practice, but anybody else that's watching that's like, oh, I do that same thing, right? Like, we want to see this community just continue to grow and thrive, and I don't want anybody left behind. That's really what this is about. So the best would be just to stay tuned, be in the Discord. I let everybody know when I go live. I'm thinking tomorrow morning I might try and do this. It might just be me. I don't know, but it's something I want to start incorporating so that we can really help people improve. And I mean, I want to start hearing stories of people that are like, I just started and I just started going to my local and I won my first match in pools, or I went 1-2, or or my first time was 0-2 and now I went 1-2, or now I'm 2-2, like I want to keep hearing these kind of things. So I want to see you guys improve. So that's kind of the goal there. And again, if you have questions, please ask. Like, don't think there's a dumb question. Like, if you have the question, there's a good chance somebody else probably has the same question. So,
and we might have had that question back 10 months ago when we started as well.
Yeah, because I mean, look, I've said this a few times. I probably sound like a broken record. This game, when you start and really start to try to get into it, it's deep. And it feels overwhelming. It feels like, oh, I've got to learn how to back air, and I've got to learn how to short hop, and I've got to learn how to combo, and I've got to learn how to DI, and I've got to learn how to recover, and I've got to learn how to like edge guard, and
72 times over.
It's just over and over again. So we totally get that, which is why I just don't want anybody to feel like they're left behind or like they have dumb questions or whatever. Like, please ask it. Like, we want to help you guys. This is for us, for Crawler and I to improve. But again, it's for you guys too. So, I really appreciate it. Plumber says, I've been playing for hundreds of hours and really haven't improved, but I don't care to be competitive. I'm still having fun with the game. Crawler, Plumber, we're going to get you. You're gonna do some Smash School with us. So we're gonna.
Is Plumber one of those World of Light veterans that we have?
I think so. So we're gonna get Plumber a little more competitive. He says he doesn't care to be competitive. We're gonna get him there. So, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord, n64josh.com/discord. We've been talking about that pretty much all episode, but lots of different people in there playing games, setting up arenas, talking strategy and all that kind of stuff. So come check it out. It's also where we'll be kind of the main hub for the tournaments every month. So look for that. And then tonight, I think, are you going to download it? I think we're going to do maybe a co-stream on Apex Legends, some Xbox play stuff here. So you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawlers without the E. Same for Twitter as well, Nightcrawler without the E.
Guys, on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, everything's N64Josh. I'd love it if you followed me there. I'm having a great time on Instagram, honestly, putting out more videos on YouTube, doing some vlogs and things like that. So it's I don't know, I just love content. I love any and all content. So make sure you follow me. The music you're hearing right now is from the Metal Melee theme. You can check out the full video by going to n64josh.com/Metal Melee. And if you're looking to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/SBC. You want to get yourself a gaming chair? Save $10 at checkout. Go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10. Like Crawler said, come and hang out in the Discord. n64josh.com/Discord is where the invite is. And if you're liking the show, but only if you're liking it, rate and review on iTunes. It really helps, guys. We've been in the top 100 on iTunes Games and Hobbies, and it's because of you guys listening, sharing. And so, if you can take a quick screenshot of the show while you're listening, share it on your Instagram stories or Twitter, we'd appreciate it. Bye, guys.